link to your slides in this document next to your name, okay? So that's how you will present to the class, pretty much. I also created a discussion board. So right here, it says that you will also create a discussion board post that just says your name and your topic on it. That's all it needs to say. So that is over here in discussions in Blackboard. And you will just go to this forum and do create thread and just type like Sid and write your research topic. That's all you do there. And then the class will go in. So you will have to do this part, even if you've already presented. So the class will just go in and view 3 different presentations that are in that link and then comment on that discussion post. So you'll just say something you learned about that topic and like maybe a question you have, or just basically just saying, I looked at this slides from this person and here's what I learned and here's what I'm talking about. And then you'll be done. And then the researcher, so like Sid or Sydney or Casper, you then would go in and if people commented on your post, you would comment back to them. So everyone's gonna get 25 points for commenting on 3 different presentation posts, but then only the researcher will get 10 points for going in and responding to their posts. Does that make sense to you guys? I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to set it up, so I just figured it out. So, so basically that will be your presentation. There will be no paper, and then you will be able to comment on each other's things. So, yeah.
So for those who actually did send a paper, do we just get extra credit for it, or?
Yes, you have extra credit already. So the presentation now is worth 30 points and yours was worth 50. So you have 20 extra points already in Blackboard. And then you will just have to participate in the discussion board as the class and you'll get points for that.
And I'm happy I did my presentation early.
I know. Some people are happy and some people are not, because you had to write a paper, but you get extra credit and you don't have to do it this way. So it's kind of...
I personally don't mind writing papers. I mean, I'd rather do that than take essays.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is exams.
Yeah. So do you guys have any other questions about that process at all? No? Okay. I looked through... Quiz 5 is open today, and Quiz 5 covers Chapter 17 and Chapter 18. So Chapter 17 is right after World War II, so that's like the new look and the building of the Berlin Wall and all of that. And then Chapter 18 was the 60s and 70s. And really, I looked through all of the pest sheets, and the only thing that I saw that people were kind of struggling with on the pest sheet was the Predaporter, or it's actually pronounced Predapor. Not Predaporter, but it looks like Predaporter. So on the pest sheet, it's right down here. So this one, basically the idea of ready to wear became a thing in the 60s and 70s. And ready to wear is just the fact that designers made clothing that you could purchase at a department store or off the rack, not something that you had to have custom made or something like that. So Predaporter or Predapor is actually just French. I'm trying to figure out where it is in here. It's just a French word for ready to wear. So French designers basically thought they were too fancy to create ready-to-wear that was available to all different people. They thought they were too special to do that. And then eventually it got so popular for designers to have more affordable ready-to-wear apparel that French designers started making it, but they had to call it something fancy called Predapor. So pret-a-porter is actually economic because it's affordable and more attainable for the masses, basically. So a lot of people put technology, which isn't really appropriate. Some people put social, which is true, because it was available to all social classes of people. But some people put social and then said it was just because it was in France. So it's really more economic because it's cheaper, ready-to-wear clothing. So that's really about the only thing. The other big story, there was a lot of political stuff. So like Jackie O was a big political influence. Jackie Kennedy was. The civil rights movement had a lot of influence on fashion during the 60s especially, and then into the 70s. And it led to all of the, kind of embracing the African culture and pride. And then the Vietnam War was another big political influence in this time period. And most people got that jeans, so jeans had started out, remember, as working wear for people working during the gold rush. And then they were worn by the Vietnam War protesters, sort of as a uniform for war protesters. And then by the 70s, they became just a staple in everyone's wardrobe, and they were socially acceptable for men and women. So jeans were a lot of this. You guys have any other questions about chapter 18 at all that I can answer for you? No?
So is this quiz due by tonight or?
No, it's available now, but it's not due until Sunday, I believe, at midnight.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've been making them. What my plan was is you would turn in your PES sheet on Sunday. It would give me a couple days to grade it and get you feedback, and then the quiz would open up and you would have 4 or 5 days to take that. So
yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to like keep track of things since like with the classes online, it's kind of difficult for me just a bit.
yeah, and I think that's difficult for everyone, and I think everyone is using different I think every teacher is using different ways of organizing, and it's just hard. For me, I can tell you that on all of my classes, I adapted the schedule for the class. So if you go to the class schedule in Blackboard on any of my classes, I just put all of the due dates and everything right at the top. So you've had this schedule, the whole semester, but I just basically made a list at the top that has all the new due dates. So that's a good place, like a one-stop for my classes to look at the top of the schedule for you.
Okay.
Is there something I can do to make it easier for you? I've set the due dates in Blackboard. If you go into your grade book in Blackboard, you should be able to see all the assignments that you need to finish out the semester and the due dates.
Not that I can think of on the top of not that I can think of on the top of my head.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions that I can answer for you? No? So this week you have the chapter 19. Actually, that's not due until April 26th, which is next Sunday. So this week, really, your biggest thing is to take quiz 5, which is chapter 17 and 18, and get those special topic presentations turned in. And then next week, you have the week to look over those presentations and do the PES for chapter 19 and 20. The final, let's talk about the final. The final is just another quiz. It's quiz 6, but it is a little different than the other ones. The first half of quiz 6 covers chapters 19 and 20, so the last 2 chapters that we cover. The last half of that quiz is big ideas from the whole semester. So it's kind of just like, has the change, does the speed of the change of fashion speed up or slow down over time? The big ideas of like the pest. So there is a study guide for the final, and I believe it is in, bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Not there, it's in, the study guide for the final is actually in with the slides, which with the notes and the PowerPoints and the slides. So if you wanted to look over it, it will help you just know, you know, like kind of the comprehensive or the big idea part. It will just kind of help you know what to look at for that. So it might be helpful. Really, I don't think quiz 6 is any more difficult than any of the other quizzes that you've had. It's just a little bit different because it doesn't just cover the chapters.
Mm-hmm.
And then chapter 20 pest is a little bit different. It is more kind of you thinking about, I mean, we are witnessing fashion history right now. I mean, we're witnessing history every day right now. And it's going to change things. And it's kind of, I mean, really, the only time fashion changes really fast is after big events like World War II, when the new look sort of, everything stopped and switched really quickly. Yeah.
And this time.
Huh?
This time as well.
Yes, I think this time things are going to kind of change, kind of different. I think things are going to look different quickly, you know, not evolve slowly over time. So chapter 20 is basically the pest for this is basically just giving you some thinking points from the chapter 20 slides, and then asking you to just think about how that compares to what's going on right now, how things are going to look. And then we're going to have a discussion through Zoom as a class on April 29th at 1 o'clock. And that one is going to be more required. And if you don't attend that one, you'll have to do a discussion board to make up for that discussion. So I think it's best to just come in here and jump on and discuss it as a group. So I've been reading a lot of different industry reports and different things about what, you know, is being predicted, but nobody really knows. So you guys, this is your chance to kind of say what you think is going to happen from your perspective. And the good thing is no answer is wrong. As long as you think and you write some stuff down, nothing's wrong. So any other questions that you have for me?
Not at the moment.
No?
Is okay. This, I mean, not a lot of people showed up here.
I know. And I'm trying to make sure, hold on, let me stop recording. I want to stop recording.